welcome to another episode of Neighborhood Support Coach. As usual, I was debating on what to talk about again today. There's just so many wonderful things about trauma to talk about. So I figured I'd go with one that I find particularly irritating and does come up frequently for clients. So, gaslighting. A term that I'm really glad is being, put out there a lot, because the more that people educate themselves about this stuff, the more likely we're going to be able to start preventing it. However, with that being said, I think it's also a term that's been really kind of misconstrued, and people are getting a little confused about what it really means. So the kind of technical definition is that gaslighting is a behavior coming from an abusive person that is intended to make us question our own reality. With that being said, intended is a really big piece of this. So what you're going to find is a lot of times as narcissistic abusive people start to hear these terms, they're going to flip them around and start using them on you. And what's really, really important, and I discuss a lot with clients, is the role of intention, okay? So people who are gaslighting, people who are manipulative, are doing it intentionally. So they are aware that they are manipulating you, and they are intentionally trying to get a desired result. So what does that mean? What that means is, when a narcissistic abusive person accuses you of gaslighting, you get to do a self-inventory, okay? So am I intentionally lying, being deceptive on purpose, because I'm trying to make this person question their reality, because I'm trying to get them to drop the subject? If you know within yourself that that's not what you're doing, then you're not gaslighting this person. So how does this come up from, and I apologize if my editing wasn't super great with this. It's kind of confusing trying to figure out an incorrect version of gaslighting to use, but basically when the abusive person accuses you of gaslighting, it's typically in a response to something you're saying that's accurate and truthful, but they don't like. So if you're, telling them about a situation that they put you through, or you're explaining your feelings and they're gaslighting you, so they're going, that never happened. I didn't do this thing. Actually, I think you're the one that's being manipulative. You're the one that's gaslighting me. And typically as empathetic people, we really take that to heart and we go, oh God, am I? I don't want to do that to people. I don't want to make someone feel this way. And again, when you can do that check-in within yourself and that's not what I'm not intentionally doing this, then you're not. So ultimately I always tell clients, like, at the end of the day, am I gaslighting? Am I narcissistic? Only you really know that. I can have a theory about why I don't think you are, based on, all of the behaviors we've discussed, but you're the only one who knows if you're gaslighting other people, if you're, lying to me. But that's a really helpful piece as far as like understanding ourselves. When it comes to other people's intentions, that can be tricky at times. Typically you have to get a collection of behaviors to start kind of understanding this person and the intentions that they do. Also, again, with gaslighting isn't not wanting to hear something or not liking something. Gaslighting is this person knows what the fuck happened, hence the title. They know you're telling the truth. They know they're not telling the truth, but they want to avoid a consequence. They don't want to have to be responsible or take accountability for their actions. So if they can make you question your reality and make you think that you were, inaccurate or wrong, then they don't have to do anything. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to comfort you. They don't have to change their behavior. So this is actually, again, a really ingrained, sneaky behavior that's intentional. Manipulation is people getting us to feel things without our awareness. So this is very subtle at times, and it can be very confusing and disorienting. And so your best thing that you can do, if possible, is if you have been gaslit. So you go to them and you go, hey, I'm really confused because you told me it cost this much money, but you took like $100 more out. And they go, oh, I never told you it cost that much money. I don't know where you're coming up from that. And if you push the issue, they're going to go, of course, oh, you just like to fight, huh? You're doing this on purpose. You're trying to gaslight me. If you can, try not to take the bait, like we kind of talked about in the last video. Go, okay, walk away, and on your own, try to journal the experience. Really sit with yourself and go, okay, how do I know this happened? You know, what kind of things reminded, oh, you know, I know specifically that they told me this because when they mentioned the type of money, I thought about, wow, that costs this much and da 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 da. So you want to put it on paper so that you can look at it and be reminded that your version of the is the truth and it is real. It also helps, the more that you keep track and record these types of things, every time these behaviors happen, you can go back and you can look at this record and you can see this pattern and understand that this is something they do a lot and this is something that they're doing intentionally, and it's a way to really validate your experience. The more you can validate what happened, which we do, we try to reach out to other people, you know, we externalize, but we're not always able to talk to a friend about this type of thing because they don't understand it necessarily, or we're surrounded by raging narcissists everywhere. The best bet is if we can learn to validate ourselves. So by doing that, it's in a way talking to people theoretically, but in a journal format. So I kind of joke around with clients that I'm a talking journal that gives kind of like feedback and advice. So you're able to do these things on your own as well. It just may take a little practice. So I hope that clarifies and makes things make a little bit more sense. As always, if you have any questions about that, want more examples, please leave me some comments, subscribe, like, and I will try to get a video to you in a couple of days. Bye.